All right, here we are, the Aftertalk. As always, very impactful, and my mind always has a million questions. Um, it's it's also exhilarating. I don't know often where to begin with this, but
Well, you were talking about how the end was very helpful, so why don't we start there?
sure, yeah. The end is helpful in the sense that it doesn't. Not everybody has to do what Tara did, where she went from the princess and a limited death identity in the nightmare of the world of death to instantly the eternal self, Tara, the many forms of Tara. And that's, of course, one of the more profound examples of all the beings that we know of because it was so instantaneous when many others it took many years to achieve, even Buddha or Milarepa or any of these beings.
Well,
So,
I don't know that it took many years. It just that was the desire of the being. It there is no time because you are already it. There's nothing to become.
right,
It's just arranging sort of the snapshots of all who you are in a certain order and telling a story about it.
right.
If you
And
can imagine just a deck of cards of images, and there are 52 cards and 52 images of the same character doing different things, the same being, let's say, in different bodies and different things. And you arrange that deck in an order and then you tell a story about it. That is what we are doing, similar to what we are doing, very similar. You could arrange that deck in very different ways. You could arrange that deck as Tara, now completely, perhaps the card before she would describe as asleep to her eternal nature, and then the next card she'd describe as being awake to her eternal nature. And then you'd see all the same deck of cards there, but lived from her eternal nature, versus somebody else that would take all those deck of cards to get to their eternal nature. If that makes sense.
yes,
And it's the story we are telling ourselves and fixated on. Right now, you could tell your story that I am the eternal being, and I am embodying now this limited mortal identity so I can experience the dawning. Or you could be telling your story that I am the mortal identity becoming the divine eternal identity, and that would be a different experience. But the cards are the same in the deck. In other words, all and everything is in the deck. You tell the story the way you want with the images that you want. And the story is told through your awareness and your assumption of the truth of where your awareness is resting. Resting is the key. You can certainly have all kinds of thoughts and ideas, but if you're not living from them, if you're not resting in them, they won't be your reality.
right. If you're not resting in them, wasn't that key, right? Um, and I assume that that is why tuning fork vibrations of a previous card in the deck still pop up and brush up against your world
No,
because
only if you're describing that particular image in that way.
right,
You're taking the image and making a story of all of what you just said. You could certainly take that image and make a different story.
yes, exactly.
You could even place that card aside and not play it,
Mm.
meaning not giving it any life. Simply saying, nope, I'm not going to play that card.
Well, I for one am very excited at the dawning, and I can see it. It's so obvious that everybody is awakening to truth and this nightmare
Yes,
as
because
it
there
were.
is only one thought, one mind, one reality. As your individualized consciousness holds, you will see the world going through similar things, reflections of your own one thought.
Mm-hmm.
What you do for yourself, you do for all in your world. You do for all that is your world. What you do for yourself, you do for all. This is the great joy. This is the reward of responsibility, of awakened responsibility. For you are always responsible for your worlds, but when you awaken to this truth, at first it may seem a burden, until you realize that all that you do for you, you automatically do for all. One for all and all for one. That is a truth.
I like that. That that certainly reframes it very nicely.
Very good. Anything else from that? Any other illuminations you care to share with your all?
Well, yeah, so I have these moments where I'm clearly in Ahli'ah, um, but they seem fleeting. Um,
You are always in Ahli'ah, or Ahli'ah in you. There really is no in and out, but Ahli'ah is always present.
yes.
Whether your awareness is on that is another point.
So I find this exciting because, the durations are certainly longer in my
Your
perspective of
attention
time.
is longer.
And so it reframes the whole process of the dawning, as opposed to instant, as opposed to a dawning, as opposed to
Well, the
really
dawning is
being
just,
worried about it.
yes, the dawning is a choice, just like the instant is a choice. For eternal beings, instant is already experienced in realities that don't need to make sense of a timeline. It's like popping in and popping out, no timeline required. So, this is an experience of time, if you will, of unfolding. It's chosen, it's not required.
Mm. It's chosen, it's not required. Yeah, I love this. I feel a lightness from it, where everything that was said, um, it just reframes it. It makes it more perfect, I guess is the word.
Ever perfecting love.
Ever perfecting love.
All right, I think we should end there, unless
All
you
right.
have something profound that you don't want
So,
your all to miss.
I don't know. I guess for some people, and certainly for myself, is reminded me of this horrible movie called The Cube. I hate blood and gore, but everybody dies, and one person makes it out of this basically cube of death that is ever revolving. And in this nightmare, it's we want to be free from limitation. We don't want to cycle and have endless incarnations of dying. So there can be this concern to make sure that you're anchoring in and not missing the boat, as it were, you know? But the way you reframed it, I think, was very helpful, at least for me.
There is only one who gets outside of the cube, always. And I will leave you with that.
Thank you. All right.